We never sent SWAT to him. Oh wait, you did.
Oh, yeah, we never sent a fire department after him. Oh, wait, you did.
You sent SWAT into him. He told us that SWAT even came to his shop.
Hello, everybody. Today on YouTube, we're going to be talking about something that I know about that I felt like was kind of messed up around 10 years ago. So 10 years ago in the soundboard prank calling community, they started prank calling a guy named Perron. Pretty cool guy. He was like a war veteran. You know, he had a bit of like an excitable personality, but the thing is a lot of people would prank call him. They would ruin his business. I mean, I assume he only had one business line, and they would sit there and mess with them all the time. And the guys who would mess with him, they would cope out of their mind and they would say, well, actually, the reason why your business is failing is because of you. You see, so you had two types of prank callers. You had the ones who were actively trying to ruin his life, and you had the ones that would constantly tell him that it isn't them, it's him. You see, so, and somewhere in the middle, there might have been some good people, but there obviously weren't any. So the first story I'm going to bring to you about this guy's saga where things really ended up fucking him over was they called the fire department to his place of business, disrupting his work hours. It really starts to look like it was really on him that his business failed, right?
Please, I am a deaf woman. I am so scared. I think the building is ablaze.
What's the address? Hello?
I don't know. The shop is called Dad, Boys Data Recovery. Dad, Boys, Data.
So obviously, the prank calling community sees this video and they will assume, hey, that was his fault that he had that prank called onto him. You know, it isn't anything else. And of course, I was very young at the time and I didn't feel like making a YouTube video on it, but now I'm a little bit older. And yeah, I feel like that these guys who got prank called should have their stories told in the way that at least I as a viewer saw it. And for me as a viewer, these guys ruined a war veteran's life for no reason at all, and then they just said that it was on him, basically. And it really goes to show that these people who see people as lol cows, they themselves are actually very bad, sadistic people.
Recovery.
Is this the fire department?
On Belmont Street.
Is this the fire department?
Hey, what's your name?
Hello, what fire department is this?
Which one did you call, sir?
So they have now just conferenced the lines, of course, so that Chris can now talk to the fire department and try to solve things before things go too haywire.
I didn't call anyone. Do you hear the mechanical voice? They just conferenced us. This is Dead Boys Data Recovery, the general manager. You got a prank caller calling.
What's your name, sir? What's your
My
name?
name is Chris Perron. I'm the general manager. What fire department? Is this Belmont Fire?
It is. Chris, you're the general manager of what?
Dead Boys Data Recovery. Did you hear the mechanical voice?
It was breaking up, sir. Now, sir, what's
No,
the
that
address
wasn't
of
a
that
real
boys?
voice. That was not a real
What's the address,
voice.
sir? Sir, would you answer the question? What's the address of that boys?
I did not
173
call
Bell.
you.
Are you there? Are you there now, sir?
I'm here now, yes. You are aware of the prank calls that have been coming here? Hello?
Yeah. Are you at the building yourself, sir?
Yes, I am, sir.
So we're going to skip ahead so that we can kind of get a little bit more of the story going.
So you're going to send somebody on a mechanical voice that wasn't even a human being that you kept asking, what did you say? How did you say? And you heard the mechanical voice, sir, correct? I'm trying to avoid you sending me out equipment.
That's protocol.
So
Okay.
in other words, if you don't even hear a real live human being, you hear a text-to-speech voice.
Well, whatever
You have
it is,
to
sir.
send
You know, we're going to
equipment
send it.
out?
Sir, I have to get off and send it out. Yep.
Okay, fine. Yeah, send him down then. Sure.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Chris, you are such an idiot. Have fun with the fire department.
Up next, we will be showing you an interview that Chris Perron had done with a guy named, let's see what his name was again. It was World Class Prankster. Obviously, the guy's a pretty big loser, but I don't know, man. Fuck it. I'll throw up his channel anyways because it's technically his content.
Now, like when somebody talks to you, like in an interview, I'm like, oh fuck, I can't handle it, so I mute people.
I can't handle it. It sounds like this guy has like some fucking disability.
Glad you know. Do you know who I am?
You really just gotta love that. Do you know who I am? It's like the guy's acting like he's fucking Chris Hansen from Dateline NBC. Like, get a fucking life, dude. Nobody knows who you are, and nobody cared who you were. It doesn't matter. You're a has-been of has-beens.
Most of these guys, let's put it this way, the ones I found out about, are on disability. Did you know that?
No, I mean, I was unemployed for a while, and I did a lot of prank calling. Never to you. But now I started working again, and usually, Chris, I'm a late-night pranker. Like, I'm around this time because I come home from work.
I don't think that guy works.
Are you on disability?
No, I work.
Okay,
that's why I do late-night pranks. I'll call people late at night. That's why you got a little late night from me, because we were listening to you, talking to whoever was talking to you and them.
Yeah, I wonder how it is you can stay up all night long and prank call people, dude.
Here's a heads up. Some of these guys are on disability for psych issues. Remember this, my friend, and I didn't make the rules up. Birds of a feather flock together.
Oh, not me, Chris. I work. My truck broke down today on my way to work.
Like, I'm just saying, like, there's no way this guy fucking works. He's like, my truck broke down today on my way to work. It's like, bro, you ain't fooling anybody here, bro. Like, you don't fucking work, bro. And while I do like to target people, don't like to target people, the guy has a lisp as well at the end of what he says, and I think that's really cute.
What I'm saying is you're not the same. So you don't hang out with people that aren't on the same level as you.
Well,
and hanging in vent.
I like the calls, Chris. I mean, I don't know.
No,
have you listened to any of them?
Fine. I'm just giving you a
they're
heads
funny.
up.
So that will be enough of the disabled sounding interview, man. Well, we do need to not give. Listen, we can come down really hard on him. But at the end of the day, well, he may sound disabled and he may sound like he hasn't worked a day in his life. I feel like we're going to give him a free pass here. At least he was smart enough to line up an interview so that people can look on it later. And I have to give him props for that, at least. I don't know to the extent that he was prank calling, but in my opinion, a lot of these guys are more of a community. And yeah, I do believe that they all kind of had a part in a lot of things that were played. Guys, I know I've been wrong, but the thing is that World Class Prankster did in fact prank call his friend right here. And yeah, this is his coworker, obviously. He actually does in fact have a job. He might sound utterly disabled, but he does have a job.
Back to bed. Besides, I know that this is a Skyped call. She hung up on.
This is also a visual confirmation of his face, if anybody wants that. We'll throw it in slow-mo for any of you sleuths out there. And this is the man himself. Up next, I'm going to show you guys the aftermath of what happened to Chris Perron after all these prank calls. And also what the people have to say afterwards.
My wife died 7 years ago, and she was quite a heavy woman. And when she was on hospice, her liver failed. I couldn't lift her, and I couldn't handle her myself, so I called him, asked him for help. He dropped his business, closed his doors, came out and stayed with me for 3 weeks after she died. Chris is one of the finest people I've ever known in my life.
Okay. And does he have any drug problem, alcohol problem, history of violence, and so on?
So Chris is now homeless. He's at the lowest point of his life, and these guys are still trying to prank call him, despite him currently being homeless. Just so they're just such awful people. It's amazing.
No, not at all.
Okay. Could you tell us more about the reason Mr. Perron is homeless?
The piece of shit then asks as if he doesn't already know.
I'm afraid I'm living in Florida and he's in Massachusetts. All I know is what he's told me.
And that is,
I do know
if
that
you don't mind me asking.
He had a problem when he was victimized by prank callers from out of the country that literally dominated his phone to the point where he was unable to conduct business, and he lost his business as a result of it.
I have no idea how people like this can live with themselves.
Okay, understood. Do you have any idea about his current situation right now?
The only thing I know is that he was a resident of the New England Shelter for Homeless Veterans.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and he is currently or not? Have you spoken to him recently?
I spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, and I thought that was the situation. He may be staying with friends. I don't know. But
okay, because he didn't give us any contact information. He just gave us the application. So, do you have any way we can get in touch with him?
He didn't give you a phone number?
No, he didn't give us a direct phone number.
It's possible he's no longer capable of paying for his telephone. He's had some financial problems since he's lost his business. Mm-hmm. Actually, I can't do that, I'm afraid. I don't know.
Okay, there's no way of getting
phone. I can't do that.
No, he didn't give us... okay. Anything else you could add that made speed up his...
Fine being, and if he didn't give you contact, it wasn't because he didn't want to be contacted. It was because he was unable to be.
Nothing like ruining someone's life and then just moving on, having a wife and kids, and then facing no real repercussions because you're out of the United States of America, out of the jurisdiction. Well, can't pin you for much, huh? Yeah, like this guy just ruins some poor war veteran's life, and then he just gets to move on with his. It's just bullshit.
I do hope you can help him because Chris is he's having a hard time, and I wish I could do it, but I can't. I lost a fortune when the financial crash 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah. Understood.
So both of us lost everything. it was tough.
yeah, tough times.
His because of the behavior of some very terrible people. Me, just because of bad luck. But
yeah, because you have any information about what happened there? Because it sounds like one heck of a story.
Well, from what I understand, they started calling him, and instead of just ignoring them, he started talking with them, and they made a fool out of him and they literally sent his name and address and phone number to the whole underground network. And everybody in the world just started calling him. Boom, 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 boom. And from what he told me, he couldn't even get business calls through.
So he didn't try to any...
They were too busy with terrorism to be concerned about somebody's getting prank phone calls. But
Isn't this some kind of terrorism, though?
Pardon me?
Isn't that some kind of terrorism, though? He was being terrorized.
Don't you just love it when stalkers just contact their victims and post it on YouTube for everybody to watch, as if it's normal? This guy has some serious mental issues.
I tell the FBI exactly the same thing, because it is. They were terrorizing an American businessman. And they were not Americans. These were from out of the country. Some of them were from Holland, some were from Germany, from what I understand. I don't know.
Did he ever get any information about who did it?
He's very, very computer literate.
So he's trying to find out who did it.
Did he tell you that he had a data recovery program, a company?
Yes, he told us about Dat Boys.
Yeah, Dat Boys was a very good company before he lost it. Again, he was one of the more honest and helpful businessmen around. Which is probably, I love the man to death, but he's not really a great businessman because he's too generous. He gave away too much of his time to people that didn't deserve it.
Yeah, because didn't he try to do anything about the prank callers? Because you said they kept on calling him.
So. In fact, he notified the FBI, but he didn't do anything that could damage them, because he's just not a retaliatory type person.
So he's still trying to find out who did it.
Yeah, he's still trying to find out who did it, Mr. Blonde. No fucking shit. He's homeless. Like this guy's not coming after you, you fucking idiot. You won. The guy is homeless. You put another veteran inside of a homeless shelter. Congratulations. He's not coming after you, Mr. Blonde, obviously.
Guys that have absolutely no morals. They don't care. They don't care who they hurt, how they do it. To them, it's just a big game.
But wasn't it a little Chris's fault?
Keep in mind, the guy who's speaking right now is the guy who called the fire department over to Chris's place and basically just completely tried ruining this guy's life. And he says, this is what he has to say. He says, isn't it a little bit Chris's fault? Yeah, sure, Mr. Blonde. It's 100% Chris's fault that you're a psycho loser.
And I posted on there about how they have ruined the life of a perfectly good man. And, some guy says, well, so what?
Isn't it partly Chris's own behavior that also caused it?
What these guys don't realize is that when you post somebody's phone number out to the public and then you post it on YouTube and you give it to these rings of people, isn't just you and your friend calling, it's thousands of people calling this guy, like hundreds. I mean, like, of course this guy's business was going to get shut down. It's called having one business line, dude. It's just no shit, Sherlock. Like, yeah, you ruined the guy's life. I mean, cool because if he was funny and he talked to you because he's an interesting person. It's his bad because if he actually took the time out of his day to talk to you. Fucking loser, dude. And the beauty of it is that even if it was Chris's fault for picking up the phone, what are you doing right now? Chris isn't at the phone. You're calling his friend trying to find the number of a homeless shelter he's staying at. You're like, wow, like you're such an awful person. It blows my mind that you haven't blown your own out.
Going into dialogue with the prank callers?
Well, let's put it this way. If somebody's giving you a hell of a hard time and you fight back, what's wrong with that?
That's true,
I mean,
that's
Chris
true.
was a military man. Chris was a veteran, so am I. Both of us are veterans of Vietnam. And I don't put up with a lot of crap from anybody, okay? I'm not one of these guys who's going to lay down and let people walk all over me.
No, that's true. It's perfectly understandable.
So,
it might be a mighty tough situation.
Same way. He's not violent about it, but he's certainly going to challenge them.
Yeah.
To tell them what he thinks what they're doing.
Of course. You have to stand up for yourself.
And when he does that, they make a fool out of him. They've actually recorded him and put him online, which is terrible.
Heartless bastards. If I don't mind saying so.
Yeah, they are. Heartless bastards. And they ruined the life of a very, very good man, and it really irritates me, and I wish there was something I could do about it. Unfortunately, I'm in a situation where I'm basically keeping my head above water financially. Because if I had the money, if I had the money, I'd track them down, and I'd teach them a little bit of a lesson myself.
Yeah, understood. Well,
they'd find their computers sitting in a junk heap.
yeah. But what can you do? I mean, you just said that they're halfway across the world.
Yeah, you at least gotta love how he takes pleasure, and then he says, "Oh, well, what are you gonna do? They're halfway across the world." He's talking about himself. Like, just such selfish people out in the world. Like honestly, I mean, like we all watch like the news and we all see these really good stories, but then like you see a story like this, and I don't know. It just goes to show that there really isn't a lot of good in the world. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people who can do enough mental gymnastics to justify it in their own head. Oh, he picked up the phone. That's on him. I'm sure that after Chris picked up the phone at the homeless shelter, I'm sure that they probably justified it in their head too. They said, "Oh, that's on him. Maybe he shouldn't have picked up the phone after I called and harassed as many people as possible." These guys called a person over to his house named, well, not his house, but his company, That Boys Day Recovery. They had this guy, Dane, punch him in the face. Insane.
Pardon me?
Well, you just said that they're halfway across the world, so what can you do about it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, he could have tried. I mean, he literally could have tracked them down to where they live because he's that good.
Yeah.
But what are you going to do about it? They are across on the other side of the world. If I had more money, I'd be over there tracking them down.
Yeah,
because
understandable.
Somebody needs to teach these guys a lesson. And apparently the government can't, because they can't really go in another country and start beating up on people without good reason.
No. Well, I wish they could, though, in this situation.
Yeah, again, these guys, what they're doing is nasty, but it's not like blowing up the World Trade Towers. They're not going to put millions of dollars into tracking them down.
No, exactly. It's too small for their radar.
Had he not, I probably would have woke up, finished the bottle, and maybe died from alcohol poisoning. I don't know. But he was there to help me, and
it's just an all-around good person.
Bit of a friend.
Yeah, you go back a long time with him.
He's one of these guys that he really lives up to what Christianity is supposed to be.
Okay, everybody, we will now swap over to when Chris is in the homeless shelter, and they now call the homeless shelter asking for him.
Recently turned homeless, and the last I heard from him is that he checked in at your facility.
We can't confirm or deny that everyone stays here.
Ah, okay.
Right now, it's a legal thing.
Okay, that makes it pretty there. Yes, okay.
Yeah, it sucks.
Well, tell him we're thinking of him. And
what's his name?
Our names are Koen. Our names are. We're thinking of him. Our names are Koen, Tom, and Mr. Blonde.
Mr. Who? What's the last one? Mr. Who?
Mr. Blonde.
Hello?
As the hair collar.
L. Oh yeah, Mr. Blonde 72. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. Pick an original name.
Okay.
So, what message did you get?
That Koen, Tom, and Mr. Blonde are thinking about you.
Yes, that's
and
it. And his name, his name is Christopher J. Perron.
It's so funny how you can harass somebody even while they're homeless. They've lost their job, and then you can still sit there and fuck with them while they're in the homeless shelter. I might not be a very religious man, but let me tell you though, if there's a hell, you guys are going to it.
Once he reads the message, he knows what's up.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Like he has our family home number at home, so.
Okay.
Well, if you could, yeah, I don't know. Check if he's maybe there or not there. Okay, thanks a lot, and have a nice day.
No problem. You too.
Thank you. Goodbye. Well,
his friend said, right? Richard.
That's what his friend said, yeah.
Yeah.
The last he heard from him was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, but she knew right away how to spell the name.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what you said, Mr. Blonde. She recognized the name because she knew how to spell it, so. And she said, like, I can't confirm it, but I can leave him a message, so why would you do that?
Yeah, she would probably just say no if he's not there.
Something like that.
I sent him an email. I said I want to donate some money to him,
I know about guys like this. These guys aren't donating money because of they feel bad. They're basically donating the money as trolls remorse. This is the last upload that they ever made because I feel like that they eventually realized that maybe what they were doing was wrong. You know that? And it's funny because these guys think that they can give, like, the thing is you can't give that, like, any amount of money that'll fix this. This guy lost his business. That business is worth a lot more than $50 in your shitty country where your dollar doesn't go very far. I'm just saying, like, you ruined a guy's life and then you're going to try to send him money to try to feel better about it. Nah, Chris isn't taking any money from you, dude. Because like you ruined the guy's life, I mean, he doesn't want to even talk to you anymore. And I don't know. They're just the worst kinds of people. And I have a feeling that even if they watch this YouTube video, they would still sit there and they would do these mental gymnastics and they would think I'm a bad guy for pointing all this out. But in the day, I'm just a normal viewer. When I was a kid and I was watching this shit, I thought this was the most fucked up shit I had seen in a long time. And the only reason why they were able to get away with it is because it didn't get more attention.
What can we do now?
I'm not sure.
We could send Monster 2000s to the homeless shelter. Or food. For Christopher J. Perron, food. Send him food at the homeless shelter.
Yeah, maybe like 2 flavored eggs for old time's sakes.
Nah, but that's just kicking a wound.
Yeah.
It then fades to black, a very obvious cut in the video, and I feel like that these guys actually had to say that they wanted to donate money, because I have a feeling that these guys watched back through the recording and they felt like that they were the biggest assholes known to man after they probably watched it back and they heard what they actually said. I mean, like, I have no idea how it is that you can make a guy lose his business and then you can call him at the homeless shelter and then just sit there and just upload it to YouTube. I mean, like, if, say, I did all of this shit, I would never upload this to YouTube. This is just shameful. Like, honestly, like, I believe that if these guys' parents knew what the fuck they did, they would disown them. It's that bad.
I would donate to him, man. I don't care. I'm not responsible for his failure, but I still feel pretty bad for the guy.
This guy is coping so fucking hard.
What about you, Tom? You feel guilty?
Yes and no.
And so the final word from Tom is, do you feel guilty? Yes and no. Beautiful way to end it.
I mean, we didn't really do anything, right? We just talked to the guy for years. That's his own decision.
Now notice the way that Mr. Blonde speaks. He speaks in a manner almost like he thinks he's living in a movie. Like, this guy thinks that he's like some kind of hot shit, but the reality is that he's just like a loser internet troll. I mean, that's just who you are, dude. You're not in Reservoir Dogs, you fucking moron. You're not some guy who goes around murdering people because of it's for like the betterment of your fucking gang. Like, you're just some loser who's hanging out on Skype prank calling people. Like, you're nothing. You're a loser. You're a fucking moron. You have achieved nothing in your life, all right? That's who you are as a person. I hope that you get cancer, genuinely.
Sometimes we couldn't sleep, so we'd call him up, and he would bore us to death with his same stories about Christianity and shit like that, remember?
Do on others as others do unto you.
And the cab driver story.
Oh, yeah. So I said to them, listen, life cannot form without amino acids. Well, that stopped him dead in his tracks.
Yeah.
We never sent SWAT to him. Oh, wait, you did.
Oh, yeah, we never sent a fire department after him. Oh, wait, you did.
You sent SWAT into him. He told us that SWAT even came to his shop. And the fire department came because the fire department came because they can't ignore when somebody calls. Like, they tried to call them off, but it was too late.
And also, didn't he get beat up by Mr. Blonde? Some guy thought, I think Chris Perron was calling it someone's business, and the guy came over and then he, punched him. Yeah.
Dude, if you just sum this up, let alone all the teenagers calling, he had a pretty shitty run.
I shouldn't be laughing, but that's pretty funny.
Yeah. It is pretty funny, but he could write a book and actually become rich off of the book.